Well, here on Real Health, we are always encouraging you, our viewers, to live a healthier lifestyle that can help promote holistic well-being. Visiting therapists, coaches and health practitioners is often a great way to assist you in making the necessary changes. But what happens when people have an unhealthy addiction to health and self-help? To discuss this interesting topic, I'm joined in studio today by Leah C4, who's a relationship and life coach, as well as Nicci Robertson, an NLP practitioner and nutritional therapist. Welcome. Always lovely having you both here at the same time.
Yes, it's lovely to be here.
Let's start maybe with you, Nicci, in terms of, we talk of an unhealthy addiction to health and therapy or coaching or self-help. What is that?
Okay, so these are people who are always looking for the golden bullet or the ultimate answer, how to lose weight, the perfect diet. There must be a magic pill out there. There's something that somebody's not revealing to me. And these are people who've tried everything. Usually they've for years been serial dieters. They've read everything online and they do have a vast knowledge of all sorts and kinds of things relating to health and especially to nutrition. So typically they'd sit in front of a nutritionist or a dietitian or a doctor or a therapist, and they'd be hugely knowledgeable. They're usually very knowledgeable about their own condition, whether that is true or not, whether they in fact have a condition, and they do a lot of talking. And this is a big red flag for most therapists who, you recognize when somebody has been doing this a long time and they are not really doing the work.
And then Leah, in terms of coaching or therapy, it's a lot of head stuff, and as Nicci says, people are learning stuff but not necessarily doing the work. So how do you break away from that addiction to just getting the information and move towards a space of actually internalizing the work and moving forward with life?
Well, I think it's the letting go of this instant gratification. It's like, I want to get some statement in this session that's going to be the aha that's going to change my entire life. And I think social media has been a big problem with this, is because people expect like a motivational post to give them that awakening for that hour. And I read something online and it changed my life, and changing your life doesn't happen in a single sentence. So people are looking for the quick fix. But my experience with people is you do the intense work in a session, they go home, you see them the week after and they haven't had the time, they've been too tired, it was too hard, things aren't really as bad as they thought they were. They've got a resistance to actually applying it, because applying it means having to face yourself. Right. And it's really easy to not face yourself when you're making it all outside of yourself. So there's a big gap between the intellectual, I know this, and I've applied it and I feel it and it's in me and it's real. And that takes time, and we're just living in a society where people will not slow down to do the work until they hit the wall or until they hit burnout. And if you're not going to be the one that's going to give me the aha, I will go and find another coach who will. And if they won't, I'll go and find another coach who will. And it's like they hop and hop and hop until they find the therapist or the dietitian or the person who's going to tell them what they want to hear.
It's interesting, that whole thing of telling you what you want to hear, because ultimately when you're going to somebody for help, it's about unpacking those fears and whatever the issue might be, so that you can evolve and grow, as opposed to somebody saying, here's what you must do. We can help you, but you can't, you've got to run with it. So Nicci, in terms of food and nutrition, I can imagine it's just the same thing, where people, you say they know all the stuff and there's so much information out there as well. How do you get them to embrace the information and move with it?
You've got to be so real with people. You've got to be harsh to an extent. And, it's very easy over time, if you're a therapist and you're used to seeing different kinds of mindsets come into your practice. So people have specific ways of communicating when they are ready to really ready to actually do the work. And they have different conversations within themselves and with you when they are still fishing. And as a therapist, you can see it really, really quickly. You've really got to be real with people as well and say, this is going to take months. This could take you a year, but I need you to commit to this. And I need you to know that I'm here for you, but you need to be there for yourself. And from a nutritional point of view, people who hop from therapy or diet to diet or methodology to methodology, I would call that in and of itself a disorder. It's like any eating disorder.
It becomes an obsession, effectively.
It becomes an obsession. I know it because I used to do it myself. I was always looking for the magic bullet until I realized there wasn't one. People don't give healthy lifestyle changes time, and it takes time. It's not something. There are no quick fixes, and this is what triggers this instant gratification need in people.
And I don't think it's just the instant gratification. It's following trends.
Yes, absolutely.
So, well, now veganism is the hottest thing. So now I need to do that. Or, like inner child work is the hottest thing, and now I need to do that. Or shadow work is the next big thing. So you've got to be very careful that what you're following isn't because you're following some guru on social media who's punting that this is the next life-saving thing. Where is it actually your stuff or your need, or are you doing it because everybody in your friendship circle is doing it, or because all the pages you follow are doing it? So be very careful of being caught up in the trends that pull you away from a path you were actually already committed to, that was actually getting a result, but now you think this one's going to help you get there much quicker. So people abandon a path they're already on for that stuff.
Well, in that sense, I mean, if you walk into a bookshop, there's a whole rack of books, self-help books for anything that you might be dealing with. But then if people are buying 5 books at a time, are they really going to get anywhere with something?
You know what I think what happens with most people, and I'm guilty of this, is that you'll flip through the book, you read a passage and go, wow, that sounds really great, and you buy the book and then you never look at it again because you've got so many books on your bookshelf to get through. So I think there is too much choice. And this is in both our fields we see this is that just exactly that golden pill people are looking for. Just stick to one path, because any path you work on, I promise you, is going to give you a result.
Absolutely.
If you stick with it long enough and hard enough, whether it's in Nicci's field of nutrition, whether it's in my field of coaching, if you commit to a path long enough, it's that commitment that is lacking, and that's why people don't see the results, and then they think, oh well, the next person is going to be the one to give it to me.
And what about this aspect of sort of self-help versus professional help, where I think there are a lot of methodologies out there that you can read about, but there's never a one-size-fits-all, and it's very difficult for me as an individual to discern what elements of a program are right for me.
Yes.
So how do you find that balance if you are not actually seeking professional help?
You can't. There's a lot of education that goes into figuring out what is at the core of the issue. So whether it is in a child, or it is trauma, or it is a relationship with food, you actually need someone to help you unpack that. It's very, very challenging to do it on your own. I've never found any self-help methodology that can really it can start igniting the questions, which is really important. It starts you thinking differently and starts you thinking letting go of preconceived ideas you may have had. So it's definitely helpful, but I think if you really want to make a difference, you need to speak it out to someone.
And the problem with only doing it on yourself is that you're only now viewing it through your own internal lens.
Yeah.
So you've justified to yourself that you've done the work, that you're the only one confronting yourself. There's no objectivity here. There's no outside person going, well, have you thought about this perspective? Have you seen it from this direction? Which is challenging.
Voice.
Yeah, there's no questioning, there's no challenge. Because if you're doing it just for yourself, you're going to keep yourself comfortable.
Yeah.
And the whole point of a professional is to kick you out of that comfort zone, to consider another perspective.
Okay.
And from the professional side of that question, it's that there's the integrity of the person you're working with to know what their limitations are.
Right.
Like I'm very clear when I'm working with somebody. I know if we're moving into the field of trauma, that is not my field. I will refer you to somebody else. Somebody starts asking me about a health question, I'm referring them to Nicci. So I know where my lines are of what I'm going to work through with you, and then I will refer accordingly because you've got to work with people who are the specialists in their field.
Yeah.
And you will always actually resonate with the person you're working with.
If somebody's watching this thinking, I don't have an issue, I'm not bouncing from oh wait, hang on, maybe I am. What would be the indicators to somebody that maybe they have an addiction to help and sort of health interventions but are just not getting anywhere?
Well, I think you've got to ask yourself, why do you think you need to do the work on your life? Who told you? Is it something you're genuinely driving in yourself, or did somebody say you need therapy, or you should read this book, or you should go and watch this video of this person, or you must follow these people? I think a lot of self-help is because it's being driven outside of yourself. Other people are pushing you to do it. So I think you've really got to sit with yourself to go, compartmentalize all the areas of your life. If I look at my life areas from a bird's eye view, what is really not working for me? Not for my partner, not for my parents, not for my kids, for me. And is it something that is important enough for me to want to shift for myself? I don't want to lose weight for them, I want to do it for me. I don't want to go to a financial coach and work on it for them, I want to do it for me. So you've really got to get that clarity of, am I doing this for myself? And then please just choose one area of your life and master that. people try and do everything at the same time. And that's where the depletion of focus happens, is that I can't give 100% to 5 different life areas.
Yes.
So can I just focus on one for now, commit to it for 3 months? And I mean commit every single day for 3 months. Do the work that's given to you by your coach or your therapist. Follow the eating plan that your nutritionist has given you. Give it 3 months. That's how long it takes to start forming a habit. And once you pass that time frame and you feel you're in a groove, then move on to the next area.
Okay.
So if you can recognize it, I'd say please just stop everything and take a step back and just reevaluate and choose one area of your life where you want to focus and what is driving you to do it.
Okay, great. Just about out of time, unfortunately, but ladies, thank you so much. I think it's just so important that people can understand these things and catch themselves.
Yeah.
And also, as you say, Leah, find the right way to re-engage in a positive manner that will get them somewhere in life. So thank you both for joining us. Always great to chat to you.
Pleasure.